Well, buckle up.
Back in the old time machine.
13th century. Texture, taste.
Very fishy.
Preservatives.
Cornish pasties.
Oh my god, I've never even thought of that. The themes of empire, mission, inheritance, and destiny.
Hello and welcome back to What the Food. This is the podcast that uncovers the origin stories of dishes, food items and drinks from all around the world. We dive headfirst into history to try and figure out why we eat the food we eat. My name is Miles Dickinson. As always, I'm here with Andy Cantor and Dom Gray, and today we're uncovering the origin of the Scotch egg.
The Scotch egg. The way you said it made it sound like there was only one Scotch egg in the world.
Yeah.
It was a big battle over the single Scotch egg placed in the middle of the battlefield.
Yeah.
I mean, it's worth fighting for. Love it.
It's worth fighting for.
I'd kill a man for one.
I was going to say, you've got some passion that I don't think I can match.
I mean, it depends on the type, right? You're not killing a man for like a Tesco. No,
I'm wanting a runny yolk.
Yeah. You're not swines.
No.
Scotch egg. We're gonna dive into it. Weirdly, one of Britain's most divisive snacks.
Really?
So I managed to find a 2019 YouGov survey where it listed Scotch eggs as one of Britain's least liked foods.
No, I don't believe that, surely.
50% of people who took part in the survey said that they disliked Scotch eggs.
I think that there's a good percentage of those, though, that are people that are just saying that they dislike. Yeah. No, that are saying that they dislike it, but it's because they've never tried it. Like, they probably think like it's like raw egg or something.
A loose raw
I didn't even know where I was going with that fucking idea.
Imagine biting into a Scotch egg and it's just somehow an encased raw egg.
Gains. Oh, God.
That's despicable. That's a new fear that you've just unlocked for me there. Biting into a Scotch egg and just a runny raw egg pouring out.
Yeah, sorry about that one. Tiger got out of the cage. I don't really know where I was going.
That surprises me, though. I mean, British people, we love sausages. We love eggs. Why don't we like Scotch eggs? An egg encased with sausage meat. Weird.
Yeah, you're right. I think a theory that I've got, maybe, it's the supermarket ones. They're letting the side down.
Yeah. Cheap imitation.
Exactly. The supermarket, the gas station ones, the ones that sit next to your Cornish pasty mates that we spoke about. Cornish pasty
dry
episodes.
bready jobs.
Exactly. I think it's maybe them.
The yolk's really like chalky.
Yeah.
Chalky yolk.
Yeah, overcooked egg.
Which nobody wants.
Dry sausage meat. The outer casing that's supposed to be crunchy and crispy, deep fried, is just kind of a soggy...
Red.
Just like a soggy sandpaper.
Just a pathetic plastic wrapped snack lurking in the back of a Tesco discounted section.
Wow.
But yeah, now as we'll see, this little beautiful Scotch egg has a history as rich as a sausage meat it's wrapped in, and a taste that can range from bloody marvellous to... Oh God. So before we get into the history, let's take a moment to answer the burning question. What exactly is a Scotch egg? If you've never had the pleasure, I imagine there's some listeners out there that have maybe never had or never seen a Scotch egg. Let's paint a picture, shall we? Imagine a perfectly boiled egg, runny. It's got to be runny if you want a proper Scotch egg. Soft and golden in the middle, lovingly encased in a layer of seasoned sausage meat.
I'm getting a hard on.
Jesus Christ.
I'm just being honest with y'all.
I was just enjoying the description, and then all I hear is that little sultry tone.
This little parcel of joy is then coated in breadcrumbs and either baked or fried to crispy perfection. The result? A snack that's crispy on the outside, meaty in the middle, and eggy at the core.
Food of the gods.
Big fan.
Just fatty, gorgeous, oozy woozy boozy goozy.
Oozy goozy. This is a man who's literally just loving life right now.
He's got a blog dedicated to Scotch egg reviews.
Northleedscotchegg.com.
North Leeds as well.
He's gone for the .com domain for North Leeds.
Yeah, I'm going worldwide with this.
No, ticks a lot of boxes for you, does it, Miles?
It's a whole meal for me, really. It's got everything that I require. Yeah.
Everything I require. Oh, yeah. You could live off it. You could live off it.
Yeah. Scotch egg and a Pack of pork scratchings and
I
Milo's.
don't like pork scratchings. I don't know where this started. Okay, move on, Andy.
Move on. Sorry. In the UK, Scotch eggs are super common. You'll find them everywhere from supermarket shelves to posh picnic hampers. They're often served cold, which is a big mistake, really, I think, because the piping hot version is way better. Way better. Yeah, and like I said, I think these cold ones give the Scotch egg a bad name and was probably one of the reasons why they were voted so poorly. It's like the cold Cornish pasty all over again. Like we said, it's don't work.
You've got to eat it as it was meant to be eaten.
Yeah.
Can't be just.
It's funny though, they sit next to each other in the shop as well, don't they?
Yeah. Little loser brothers.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, there's a time and place for a cold Scotch egg. I don't think it should be completely discounted.
Name a date and a time.
Midday, park, Sunday, me, blanket.
Alone.
Naked. I'll have them anyway. I don't mind. I'll have them hot, great, but I'll have it cold too.
You are such a little Scotch egg freak, mate.
I don't know. Yeah,
fair enough.
I don't mind it. It's just something different.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, fair enough.
You know, I like a hot bacon sandwich, but I'll also eat a BLT cold.
Nah, it's a bit different. Come on, you're stretching with that one.
Yeah, that's not comparable.
You're not eating a cold bacon sarnie, are you? Come on.
Probably would look at the It's like, I could.
Yeah, wouldn't go near that. Well, I don't prefer a cold Scotch egg, but I wouldn't want to see cold Scotch eggs disappear from the face of the planet.
Okay, nice. Right. You're an inclusive Scotch egg fan.
Yes, I do rate that.
Nice. Very liberal. Now, over the years, we Brits have taken this humble snack and run with it. We've got mini versions, which are basically kind of bite-sized Scotch eggs made with quail eggs. There's the Manchester egg, where the egg inside is actually pickled and wrapped in black pudding along with the sausage.
Pickled inside?
Pickled egg inside, yeah.
Ooh, don't know about that.
You've got the Worcester egg, which is an egg pickled in Worcestershire sauce.
Hit that shit.
Yeah, hit that shit. Wrapped in a mix of local sausage and white pudding.
Wow.
Okay.
Then you've got the York egg, which swaps out.
Oh, me and Milo know all too much about the York egg.
Yeah. Swaps out the breadcrumbs for the layers of bacon. Can be a bit of a faff to eat, would you say, boys?
It was very messy when we had it.
Yeah.
Try walking down the cobbled streets of the shambles while tucking into that on a Saturday.
Yes.
Yeah. Milo asked for it pre-cut, and I think she took it out there and just fucking punched it and put it in the bag.
She pretty much did.
It came. I was like, you have your half first, mate. He's eating it away, and then he just starts going, oh, make you feel a bit ill, this actually. And then just passes me a bag of just munched up meat with a couple of bits of
Have a bit of
crispy bacon, egg.
Get involved.
I think I had about half a bite, and I was like, yeah, not for me. Not for me.
No.
It sounds good on the face of it, but
It looked like you'd poured a half-eaten fry-up breakfast from a plate into the bag and just shook it up and gave it to Tom.
What should have gone in the bin into a bag. Yeah. Me walking down the shambles trying to eat that, it was providing a very stereotypical British sight for the Asian tourists, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a big boy egg as well, wasn't it? They ain't little.
Big boy egg, big boy. And, you know, they were getting that authentic British experience watching me try and
you're right.
nosh that.
gosh, that.
Yeah, no, brilliant. So each variation brings something different to the table, but they all share that core idea. An egg wrapped in something delicious and cooked until it's just right. Best enjoyed, piping hot. Now that we've got our heads around what a Scotch egg is, let's dive in to the rather murky and contested origins, as many of the dishes that we cover on this great podcast. Like many great British inventions, the true origin of Scotch egg is a bit of a culinary whodunit, with several contenders laying claim to its creation. The first one that we're going to cover is Fortnum and Mason. You guys heard of Fortnum Mason before?
I have, yeah.
Don't they do wine or something?
Bit of a posh shop in London, isn't it?
Bit both.
It's London department store. I think they do like wine hampers.
They do. They do kind of jams
Nice
and tea and cakes and...
Wicker baskets.
Apparently the Queen
hampers.
did a weekly food shop there.
No way.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Wow.
When I lived in London, I used to go in there for gifts for people. You know, if it was Christmas, I'd get like my dad a nice box of cookies or something from Fortnum and Mason. Yeah.
How much was that? Like 70 quid or something?
Yeah, way too much. Way too much. I mean, like, you were paying for the packaging, really. They came in like metal ornate tubes. Mm-hmm. Biscuits were shite, but the tube was gorgeous.
Well, yeah, Fortnum & Mason, iconic London department store. They're quite vocal about their claim to fame when it comes to inventing the Scotch egg. According to their website, they invented the Scotch egg in 1738, and this is a direct quote from their website where they explain the story of the egg's origins.
The first and the best, we created the Scotch egg in 1738 as a meal for travellers heading west from Piccadilly. No one knows if there was a certain recipe that inspired the Scotch egg, but there are traditional dishes mixing meat and a boiled egg across the world.
Nice.
Didn't know the Artful Dodger was employed by a nice open department store.
We'll get to those traditional dishes from around the world a little later, but pretty bold claim, I'd say, from F&M right there.
Yeah.
You know?
The first and the best, we created the Scotch egg in 1738 as a meal for travellers heading west from Piccadilly. If you're going east from Piccadilly, back off.
Back off. You just get an egg.
Yeah. But if you're going west Piccadilly, you can have a Scotch egg. Yeah, very specific that, but fair play.
Very specific and very, very bold considering the fact that the documentation that could prove their invention has conveniently been lost to time.
Oh,
We fucking lost it. Sorry.
Sorry.
Maybe a traveller heading east stole it because he was spiteful, he didn't get one.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, I mean, they are definitely cited as being like the most likely inventors of the Scotch egg.
Okay.
And the company themselves claim it, but there's no kind of actual documentation that links them directly to it. But most of the websites and the sources that I used for the research, most of them dated back or harked back to Fortnum Mason as being the original inventors of the Scotch egg.
Well, whenever I went in there was no like Scotch egg section. I wouldn't have ever known that they were known for the Scotch egg. It's more like
Scotch egg, sir.
No, it's more like pickles and jams and tea and biscuits.
Do they have a cafe though?
They have got a cafe, yeah. Maybe all they serve is Scotch eggs.
Scotch eggs, yeah.
Bloody missed that. That would have been great for me.
Walk right past it.
Yeah, bloody hell. Thought I could smell Scotch eggs. Fucking hell, couldn't find them.
Milo's coming. Open a window, otherwise he'll smell the eggs.
He'll smell eggs.
Back then, the recipe consisted of a pullet's egg, and a pullet is essentially a smaller, younger chicken rather than like a big laid hen. Yeah, a little, not like a freshly born chick. That'd be mental.
It's like balut crammed into sausage meat.
What are you doing, lads? You get a handful of sausage, mate. Grab the chick. You got it in it.
Live!
Yeah.
Live!
The best grabbers get the feet in too.
just chasing a chicken around a field trying to grab
Sausage hands. The best ones have a handful in each hand. So they can grab
Climbing it.
together. Rolling breadcrumbs and deep fry.
Yeah.
It's like the ball's like constantly moving as you're trying to dip it in the breadcrumb. Fucking hell. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. No. It's definitely an egg. It's just of a younger chicken. The pullets, it's called.
Okay.
But it's a smaller egg as well.
It's a smaller egg. Yeah.
Not a fan of that idea.
This smaller egg was then surrounded by force meat, which is a mixture of meat or vegetables, usually both, that's kind of chopped and seasoned and used for stuffing, called force meat, dipped in egg wash, and then breadcrumbs, seasoned with salt, pepper, and deep fried. At the time, the reason why it was thought to have been referred to as a scotched egg was because of anchovies being added to the meat to give it a stronger flavour and cut through the fattiness.
I've spent my entire life thanking Scottish people for inventing this.
They did fuck
and
all,
I was
mate.
wrong. Fucking jeez. Right. That's it. Yeah. I'm going to go settle some scores.
Off you go.
So scotching is a culinary process of adding anchovies to meat cut through the fat.
No way.
Frick.
That's the name of that. Scotching. Wow, okay. So it's a scotched egg.
It's a Scotch egg. But there is a little bit of confusion, a little spice of confusion, because there was obviously in Scotland, there's a large kind of egg trade, and they went through a process of dipping the eggs in lime powder in order to preserve them. And that process was also called scotching.
Right, okay. So there's crossovers.
There's
here.
multiple avenues here. Now, those eggs weren't then being breadcrumbed, wrapped in sausage meat, breadcrumbed and fried. They were just merely dipped in lime powder to preserve them for like long voyages at sea and all that sort of shit, and to withstand trading and things like that.
And you mean lime powders in like actual limes?
No, like lime powder is
Stone.
stone.
Oh,
Yeah, exactly.
shit. Okay. Well, I was thinking like green limes, like limestone.
Lime powder from limestone.
Limestone powder. Wow. Okay. Didn't even know you could preserve food with stone powder.
Yeah, it's like pulverized limestone rock. Don't know why I'm doing this.
Pulverized.
Oh, yeah. Anyway,
It's outrageous.
So that was called scotched as well, which is kind of the confusion.
that was called scotching. Yeah, exactly.
Scotching.
But then
Okay.
Scotching is also the culinary process for adding the anchovies as well. So there's like a double meaning there. I'm not 100%. Where the name actually comes from for the Scotch egg, because fucking FMM didn't keep the records tidy. Lost all the records.
Idiots.
So Fortnum Mason isn't the only one with a stake in the Scotch egg's origin story. According to Culinary Delights of Yorkshire, they originated in Whitby in the 19th century and were originally covered in fish paste rather than sausage meat.
Right. Bit of a fishy one.
Prefer what we got now.
Yeah, they were supposedly named after William J. Scott and Sons. Scott and Sons, Scotch Egg, maybe.
Yeah.
So it was an egg wrapped in a thick paste of fish, breaded and fried over an open flame.
God.
Okay.
Oof.
I can get like breading fish and frying it. Yeah, totally. But I mean, with an egg.
Do eggs and fish go together? I'm trying to think of another dish that involves eggs and fish, other than like maybe like scrambled eggs on toast with a bit of salmon, but I feel like that's an outlier.
Yeah.
Didn't you have oysters in Whitby?
Yeah, I did, yeah.
That's what sent you funny. Yeah, that sent you funny. Yeah, right. Milo once flopped it after we went for a 2-day walk and was ill for days afterwards.
Flopped it. I had food poisoning. We ordered from
From your
weird...
dodgy oyster.
It wasn't the oysters because that was 2 days before.
Yeah, we all had curry.
Yeah, but you didn't all eat the copious amounts of lamb that I did.
We didn't have the oysters. You did. You were ill.
I regrettably ordered a lamb madras from an Indian takeaway that had like 3.4 stars
On a Tuesday night.
on a Tuesday night in Scarborough at the beginning of March.
You were asking for when you lay it out like that, you were begging for food poisoning at that. You exhausted your body from the last 2 days, so immune system was a little bit down.
Yeah, buddy. Handle this. But yeah, William J. Scott and Sons, the claim that they invented the Scotch egg surfaced almost 75 years after Fortnum and Mason. So not exactly first in line, but I don't know. Even if they did invent it, they didn't invent the proper Scotch egg because that sounds shit.
I mean, we didn't see any when we were there. It's not like a well-known thing, is it? Like, oh, you go to Whitby and you have a fishy Scotch egg. Whitby's known for its scampi and its kind of fresh fish and stuff like that.
Yeah, and oysters.
Oysters that make you throw up. But they're not, obviously that didn't kick off, did it? So...
No. Beyond these two claims, there's also a theory that the Scotch egg might have been inspired by Indian cuisine.
Ooh.
So, according to the Oxford Companion to Food, food historian Annette Hope speculated in 1987, that the inspiration may have been Indian koftas, particularly the dish known as Nargisi kofta. And now, Nargisi kofta is a spiced meatball stuffed with a boiled egg. Super similar concept, though it's typically served with like a rich kind of spicy gravy, I suppose.
That sounds
It's
great.
like, sounds good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's really good. I've never seen that on the menu, on an Indian menu before.
No.
Nargisi kofta.
Lamb mince, did you say?
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds good. Because I knew there was some kind of like hard-boiled egg curries. I've seen those online before. They look really good because the whiteness of the egg kind of soaks up all those curried and spices, doesn't it? And it changes the colour of them, and it just looks really good, I think.
Yeah, no, for sure. And considering kind of Britain's colonial history with India, it's not too far-fetched to think that the Scotch egg could be a British twist
Yeah.
on a much kind of older dish, you know, that could have been brought back by the employees of the East India Company and adapted. Well, obviously we didn't have the exotic spices of the Indian continent and Nargisi kofta would have had. So we kind of swapped them out. The idea came back. And we swapped them out for more familiar British flavours and more suitable for the milder palates.
That does sound about right, doesn't it? Yeah. Take all the spices out. Fuck off with them. Lamb's expensive. Put a bit of pork around it. All right. Brilliant.
Exactly. That's a proper British thing to do, isn't it?
Make it beige and brown.
Yeah. Take something amazing and flavourful and just beige it up.
Beige it up. Remove any flavour.
Black pepper, salt, pork. That's it. That's all you ever need in life.
The Holy Trinity. So, yeah, I mean, in terms of who really invented the Scotch egg, the truth is we may never know. But what we do know is that it's a dish that has evolved and adapted, picking up influences far and wide. Whether it's Fortnum Mason, a Yorkshire fishmonger, or inspired nod to Indian cuisine, the Scotch egg has made its mark as a true British classic. Now, we're going to now start to begin kind of the journey of Scotch egg through time up to modern day. And we're going to start with the first written recipe for Scotch egg, which was 1809.
1809.
It's amount of time.
Wow.
But this first written recipe appeared in Maria Rundle's A New System of Domestic Cookery, which was one of the best-selling cookbooks of its time, probably because it was the only one of its time. Interesting though, this recipe didn't include the now familiar breadcrumb coating.
Right.
Instead, it was a much simpler affair. It was essentially a boiled egg encased in sausage meat, baked. No frying, no crispy coating, just straightforward
Baking it.
British cooking.
Yeah. No crunchy exterior, just kind of wet sausage
other than
meat.
Perfect for you, mate. Absolutely fucking perfect.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't even cut the sausage meat. Just give it to me. I'll just eat it.
Oh my God. Can I tell you this story quickly? When my grandma was alive, God bless her soul, we were around at her house and she was making sausage sandwiches and she was cutting up sausages. And there was a bit, I don't know, I might have told you this story before. I probably have because it just burnt into my brain. But there was a bit of
Are you watching her? Sorry.
I'm watching her. Yeah, I'm just there, a little mile. I was like, hurry up, Grandma, I'm hungry. And she's cutting these sausages and there was a bit of raw sausage meat on the knife and she just picked it off with her fingers and ate it. And I'm not talking like a tiny bit, I'm talking like a clump of sausage meat, raw. And she just ate it. And I was like, Grandma, whoa, what the fuck? Like, whoa, don't, that's raw, blah, blah, blah. She was like, no, it's fine. And then that kind of memory just faded. And then I remember like watching TV once and it was like Good Morning Britain or something. And they had like these two old women on there and they were being interviewed and they were talking about the fact that back in the day, they used to eat, in England, people used to eat raw sausage meat sandwiches. They'd just like put raw sausage meat on 2 bits of white bread, salt and pepper and eat it. And that was perfectly normal. And
you get brain worms.
Well, yeah, but I think it's like back in the day, you know, before sausages were maybe like mass produced and it was, you were buying sausages from local farmers, you know, it was farm to plate and you can kind of trust the quality of the meat because you knew the farmer.
No.
So there's a lot less risk in eating that raw meat, but never knew it was a thing. And apparently people used to just eat raw sausage meat.
Wow.
Mad.
Shouldn't be doing that.
So
That's crazy.
yeah, saw my grandma do it.
Cheers for sharing that fun little anecdote.
Yeah, I just
raw meat.
Yeah, raw sausage meat just took me straight back.
Wow.
I thought she was going to die when she did it. I was worried for her.
Yeah.
Yeah, thought she'd lost the plot.
How long did she last after eating it?
Enough time, thanks, Dom. It wasn't the sausage meat that did her in. I wouldn't be telling the story so fondly if like a week later she died.
I was about to be like, so where is she now?
Was it all right? Was it? Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah. No. Wasn't the sausage meat.
So the recipe in Maria Rundle's A New System of Domestic Cookery was as follows.
Boil hard 5 pullets eggs and without removing the white, cover completely with a fine relishing forcemeat. Fry off a beautiful yellow brown and serve with good gravy.
Yellow brown?
Maria, what's yellow brown?
Yellow brown?
I think she doesn't know the word golden.
Yeah.
She's not seen golden yet, has she?
Yellow brown.
Yellow brown.
That's a very shiny yellow-brown necklace you have there, sir.
Yeah.
I'm just digging some yellow brown out of the earth. Oh, look at yellow brown.
So she's saying boil 5 of these pullets eggs without removing the white. Cover completely with a
Why
fine...
would you remove the white?
I was going to say, since when do people do that? Oh, boiled the egg. Let me just get the shell and whites off and just got the yolk left.
Yeah, we're having hard boiled yolks for tea.
A bucket each. We'll see us right.
Remove the protein, keep the fat. So, yes, without removing the white, she's saying cover completely with a fine relishing force meat. That's that force meat we were talking about before.
Relishing.
Relishing, yeah. Fry off a beautiful yellow brown and serve with good gravy. Maria Rundle, I just did a quick little research of her. Do you know where she was born?
Whitby.
Lytham.
Ludlow.
Ludlow. Shout out to her family.
Shout out Ludlow.
Fucking
She was
love
drinking
that.
Ludlow Gold way before we were.
Wow.
Yeah, she was.
She was. Lovely lady.
For the listeners, we went to Ludlow for my stag do. We stayed.
Yeah, it was shit. We had a terrible time.
Lads, hot.
No, I'm joking. It was
Very nice.
wonderful. Very wholesome memory that I'll cherish for the rest of my life.
Yeah, a little keystone memory is what I like to think of it as, Lovely.
Nice little medieval town, lots of old pubs.
Yeah.
It's well known for how many kind of old pubs it's got in such a short distance from one another. So we had a medieval pub crawl.
Yeah, it's good. Should have been there.
So she's cutting about Ludlow making Scotch eggs.
Making Scotch eggs for folks. Yeah. And within the same year, the year after, Scotch egg had found its way into the Oxford English Dictionary.
Wow.
Confirming that the dish had very much settled into British culinary landscape. So I think you're right. I think the people of Britain were eating Scotch eggs for a long time before this, and the recipe was just known and maybe passed down from family to family and community to community.
It's pretty simple, isn't it? Like, you don't pass down a recipe for a bacon butty.
No.
You just know how you like to do them, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Now, between the period 1809 and the Second World War, it's a bit of a culinary grey area for the Scotch egg. Didn't really find too much in terms of the history and how it kind of navigated this era. There's a few notable developments. During the Victorian era, which was 1837 to 1901, the Scotch egg found a comfortable place in the burgeoning middle class culture. So it wasn't really the poorer people that were eating it. It was mainly kind of the middle class to the wealthy, particularly the Victorians who were fond of elaborate picnics and garden parties. The Scotch egg made an appearance. Portable, neatly self-contained, super kind of popular choice for outdoor feasts as it is today.
Yeah.
It's for picnics today. They were mostly served cold, which is an error, and they were served around picnic staples like cold meats, pies and sandwiches, the usual British picnic scram. Reputation, the Scotch egg's reputation as a convenient and kind of respectable snack, perfect for a countryside outing, was very much kind of established in this Victorian era here. Now, throughout the 19th century, we start to see more and more recipes appear for Scotch eggs. Some are quite varied in terms of spices and things that they're adding and things, and like casings and things like that, while some are quite experimental. No, the other way around. Some are quite basic and then some are quite experimental with spices and things like that. And by the late kind of 19th, 20th century, the breadcrumb coating has become much more standardized.
Right.
Whereas at the beginning, in 1809, Maria Rundle's didn't have any breadcrumb at all, really. But by the late 19th century, early 20th century, breadcrumb has very much become the standard. It would be weird to get a Scotch egg without the breadcrumb coating at this point.
I guess like for transport reasons, like the breadcrumbs after they've been deep fried kind of locks in all that moisture and then makes it a dry thing to kind of carry around. If you've just got kind of exposed sausage meat, it's quite oily and it's not going to be that pleasant to kind of carry with you for picnics and
Slip out your fingers.
Exactly.
Oh no, me egg.
Yeah.
Oh no, me egg.
Oh, me oily little egg.
My oily little egg.
Away, please. I've it.
I wish it had some crispy yellow-brown crumbs.
Oh, it's perfectly round. It's rolling away. Oh no.
It's so oily, it's gaining speed as it goes downhill. Oh, my oily little egg. Oh, dear. Funny.
Oh, God.
Between the world wars, between 1918 and 1939, British food culture was marked by a return to a simpler, more economical stance, largely due to the hardships, obviously, at the time. But nevertheless, I mean, the Scotch egg itself remained relatively inexpensive to produce because, again, it's like 3 ingredients. And whilst, yes, there was rationing, things like that, during the period between the wars, you you could get some eggs, you could get some sausage meat, and you could get some breadcrumbs.
And the price for those things haven't fluctuated over time that much. Obviously, it's gone up generally with inflation, but they use things like eggs and sausages as a way to kind of mark inflation rise because of how stable it is in price. So it's kind of like it's always been available to English people, British people. So yeah, it's kind of
this point.
Up to this point. Yeah,
for sure. It's during this period as well where its kind of status as like a luxury middle class kind of dish kind of diminishes, and it becomes much more associated with like everyday fare rather than kind of extravagant picnics and outings of the Victorian era. You know, it begins to appear more in working class contexts. So you see it in pubs as a bar snack, in inns, things like that, offered as like a hearty snack alongside a pint of ale, as you kind of see now. Lovely, yeah. Quite right. But then World War II comes. Now, World War II was a challenging time. That's it. That's all I'm going to say. No, it was a challenging time It was a challenging time for food in Britain, with strict rationing and shortages affecting everything from butter to meat. Real issue. And like many other dishes, a Scotch egg could not escape the consequences of these harsh
sound like
realities.
Keir Starmer then. These consequences.
That was good, man. That was a good little impression of him.
We're going to have to get a quote from Keir Starmer on like the next dish, just even doesn't matter how like verbose it is.
Right, Sean.
Just like a random question about rationing in World War II. I know this might seem like a really stupid question, but why did we need to do that? I mean, as a country, were we making a lot of our own food at that time, and then obviously all the farmers are then fighting? Is that the problem? Or is it more the trade routes are affected because of the war?
It's
a hybrid.
Everything.
Yeah, bit of both. You're losing a lot of your farmers.
Yeah.
To the guns.
Yep. So you're losing a lot of your farmers, and you're losing a lot of the trade from overseas as well, so the importing.
Yeah.
You're also redirecting the people that didn't go to war into things like making munitions, into communications,
factory working and stuff.
Factories making ammunition, whatever. So
you're sending food over to your lads at the front as well. So it's just like extra hard.
So everyone that's left at home has just got to really conserve what they've got and make it last.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What a mad time. What a mad time to have lived through. I mean, we had obviously COVID, which there was stuff with that we complain about, but that's nothing compared to, countrywide rationing for a war.
And worrying about being bombed at
I was going to say,
at the same time.
Shit.
Yeah. Like, you just there like, can't make me fucking Scotch egg.
Yeah.
Oh, bomb sirens off again. You're going to go chasing my little oily egg down the street into the bomb shelter. Just not the one.
But in these difficult times, a lot of people default to food. It's like, oh, at least we can have a nice meal. At least we can eat. And, the people living then wouldn't have even had that to default to.
No,
eat out to help out, as they say.
Yeah. So this period of scarcity had a profound impact on the Scotch egg, altering both its ingredients and its place in British food culture. So, like we said, rationing, full swing, key ingredients for making Scotch eggs, meat and breadcrumbs, all the ingredients you need, were heavily restricted or simply unavailable. This led to some creative, albeit less appetizing substitutions.
I was going to say they can't be good substitutions if you're having to make them in the first place. Like,
no, bear with me.
Select a tennis ball and place spaghetti around it.
Yeah, shave off the outer fur.
Yes. Wrap in spaghetti and deep fry in sour milk.
Yeah, I mean, some of these are quite diabolical, so bear with me. So eggs were replaced by powdered eggs.
Oh,
you're not getting a runny yolk there, are you?
You're not, mate. As hard as you try, you're not getting a runny yolk.
Don't matter how good of a chef you are. Don't matter what timing you use.
Jonathan, give up on it. It's powdered egg, Jonathan. Give up on it and have it.
Now, I actually had a look to see if you could still buy powdered eggs on Amazon. And you can. You can still buy. I've never even thought about powdered eggs before.
Why would you need to?
Why would I need to buy it? Like, what the fuck?
Picturing you sat watching footy with Catty or something. You just
bowl of powdered eggs.
Don't know why, but I just started thinking about powdered eggs. Don't know where it came from.
What use would you have for that now?
None, mate.
Yeah.
None. Surely none.
Yeah.
Unless Amazon
Can't be
knows there's
right.
an impeding fucking shortage of food on its way.
Well,
Get
maybe.
your packets now, lad.
Yeah. Well, maybe.
Yeah.
But, I mean, this review from D. Pope on Amazon says otherwise.
Where is it? Here we go. Tried making scrambled eggs with these and they were not edible. The texture was of a gritty, wet sponge.
Gritty, wet sponge.
Why is he been eating sponges first and foremost? Never mind gritty, wet ones.
Oh, no.
Oh, wow.
Gritty,
That's,
wet sponge. That's got way too much, like, bounce to it.
Yeah.
He's got away with his words as our depot.
Yeah.
Nice. And sausage meat was also in short supply.
Just don't try and make a Scotch egg. If you haven't got eggs and you haven't got sausage,
Just pause
don't
it.
try.
Yeah, I know, right?
Just have something else.
Yeah, literally, you're missing everything.
No, I'm having my Scotch egg. I have my Scotch egg every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. I don't care if there's a war on. I'm having it.
That's British. That is just peak Britain.
Yeah. Fucking
Exactly.
love it as well. What did they replace the sausage with?
Well, there was a little, but it tended to be a poorer quality. And what they did is they took that little bit and they padded it out with oats or even mashed vegetables to make it stretch a little further. Imagine sitting down and having a powdered egg wrapped in mashed vegetables.
Sounds like vomit, basically.
Yeah.
Come have your bowl of vomit. No.
I think
God.
they'd be better as the powdered eggs and just the vegetables
Yeah.
unsmashed.
Exactly. Keep them separate and
Yeah.
let your mouth put them together. Not
Yeah.
all of it. Oh, God.
But yeah, the end result was obviously a Scotch egg that was a far cry from the rich, flavourful snack of the pre-war days. Instead of this golden, savoury delight that people were accustomed to, wartime Scotch eggs were often pale imitations, lacking in flavour, substance, just about recognisable, but not quite.
It looks like a Scotch egg, but it doesn't taste.
Scores very highly on the bastardization scale. That's a true. They're taking liberties even calling that Scotch egg, to be frank.
Yeah, no, you're right. And as a result of these substitutions, Scotch Egg's reputation, quite rightly, took a hit. You know, if the only time that you've eaten a Scotch Egg is one of these fucking powdered veggie ones, you ain't gonna like
You're not
it.
going
right?
to like them.
Yeah, do you
not
want a
gonna
Scotch
like
egg? Fuck it off. No.
You joking?
What was once considered a tasty and convenient snack, it became something of a culinary disappointment. And this decline was kind of mirrored across many traditional foods that kind of struggled to make do with the rationing and utilize the ingredients that were available.
Yeah.
And it was just one of the many British dishes that represented this hardship and compromises that people went through during wartime.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a 3-ingredient dish essentially, so it's harder to fake that, isn't it? You've just got the ingredients that are speaking for themselves, so there's not much that can really replicate that. If it was something that was already more kind of processed, you might be able to sneak in other things and it go unnoticed, but it's not going to happen with the Scotch egg, is it?
No, it's not. If any one of them 3 ingredients is a bit shit,
It's done.
the whole thing. It's like the classic saying, isn't it? If you mix £100 of ice cream and £10 of shit, you've got £110 of shit, right?
Yeah.
Never heard that.
Silly.
Yes.
I'd never heard it either, mate.
Not sure if that's the saying,
You've got
but
a point.
got it.
You have got a point.
Yeah.
Such a wordsmith.
Fortnum Mason, back to these guys, the luxury department store that we explored in the beginning, they found themselves in a bit of a difficult position during the war. They were obviously known for their high standards, and they faced a challenge on keeping the Scotch egg on their menu without compromising on quality. But obviously rationing dictating the availability of the ingredients, even F&M struggled. They were forced to adapt the recipe, and though they managed to maintain a somewhat better standard than the kind of substitutions that we ran through before, they still weren't that great. Wasn't great.
Understandable, there is a war going on.
Exactly. I mean, to be fair to them, their whole mission kind of during the war was much less about making a profit and kind of selling the eggs and the Scotch eggs than it was more about like preserving culinary tradition.
Right, okay.
Yeah, because if not else, what the hell are we fighting for?
Yeah.
Not
to protect.
Those
Scotch egg.
fucking Nazis, they would have erased the Scotch egg from history. The fucking Nazi egg.
Yeah, Bratwurst around a fucking pickled onion.
Just like you can see the onion through the middle. It's just like
It's bratwurst meat shaped around a pickled onion.
No. They're still in the skin. They're just bent round.
Deep fried in engine oil.
Thank God they didn't win.
Oh God, yeah.
No, thank God for that. Yeah, and it's
hard to come back after that.
Yeah,
Yeah, sorry for the little Nazi tangent.
no, it's fine.
You're just like
I was working on a joke being like seasoned with like mustard powder or like, things like that, but I just didn't want to go that far.
Fair play.
Yeah, no,
Fair play.
Can't.
Did it anyway, though, didn't you? Really?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. Well, you called me out, so I had to deliver.
Yeah, sorry. That moment of pause was me thinking of a really horrible, nasty joke.
Yeah, the hold out air.
I was trying to make a connection with the mustard gas that killed everybody.
So Fortnum and Mason's effort to keep the Scotch egg alive, even in a diminished form, ensured that it wouldn't disappear entirely from the British culture. This quote is directly from Fortnum and Mason's website on their matter. They're very proud, I have to say. The page on the Scotch egg is very extensive and worth a
Really
read.
care about it, yeah.
They do really care about it, but this is what they got to say on the Second World War on the Scotch egg.
Then came the dark days. A shortage of meat during the Second World War meant that the quality of the Scotch egg suffered, and we lost our confidence somewhat. Fortnum and Mason. Oh, that's the Fortnum and Mason website. I'm carrying on with the voice. Long after I should have stopped.
You lost the confidence in it.
Yeah, lost my confidence in making Scotch eggs. I just don't know how to start anymore.
I just don't know if I could do it, Mum. You can, son. You've done it before and you'll do it again.
Okay. You wrap that egg, son. You wrap it.
Yeah.
And you dip it. And you fry it.
If it's shit,
You know
I
how
still
to
love
catch
you.
him.
Remember the technique? Remember what your father taught you?
Sausage in the hand and round the chicken. Fry it.
And hands around the live
fucking
one.
love it.
Grab it.
So the end of the war didn't bring an immediate return to the glory days for the Scotch egg, unfortunately. Food rationing in Britain continued well into the 1950s, and the emphasis remained on frugality and practicality. However, the post-war period also saw the beginning of a new era in food production, one marked by the rise of mass-produced convenience food. As manufacturers began to ramp up production, the Scotch egg itself found itself at the forefront of this new food movement. While the quality of the ingredients slowly improved and got back to normal, the focus is now making the Scotch egg a cheap, easily accessible snack for the masses. This is where that shift comes in, and you start to see
And
those.
we start getting the supermarket shitters.
Exactly.
Dark day for the eggs. But it's good. It's good that they're holding it onto it and keeping it alive. You imagine how good like the first one that had the proper ingredients back taste. They were just like, oh, I fucking knew there was a reason that we persevered with these.
Yeah.
We've been making the shit ones for like 15 years with this rationing joke. But check this one out, lads. No veg in it. Real eggs, not powdered.
Yeah, loving it.
And it's very much this shift that sets the stage for the processed Scotch eggs of the 60s and the 70s, far removed from their artisanal origins, but deeply embedded still in British food culture. Again, quoting from the F&M website, this is what they have to say about the processed introduction.
Food manufacturing embraced technology more and more, and by the 1960s and 70s, our breadcrumbed hero lost its superpowers thanks to less than satisfactory rivals who were using inferior, over-processed meat and the wrong kind of breadcrumbs. As a result, it became perceived by many to be rather naff and unfashionable.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
There you go. There's that shift. That's
Yeah.
why they perhaps are 50% of Britons don't like them. They've never had a proper Scotch egg.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I was
Just had
about to
this
say. You've had a
process
cheap
shite.
imitation.
And
That
the
is true,
wrong
though, yeah.
fucking breadcrumbs.
Exactly. It's all about the right breadcrumbs. But it is true, though. Like, I think Scotch eggs, the mass-produced ones, are so readily available that I think unless you lived in a time before, or you really are looking out for the kind of artisanal ones that are coming back in bakeries and things now, you are just going to think that Scotch eggs are this really mediocre thing that you get in a Tesco meal deal, aren't you?
Yeah, I agree. 100%. 100%.
Which is a shame because they are actually great. Like, we were saying, when they're cooked properly and they're warm and you've got that kind of semi-runny yolk in there and you're having it fresh and it's really good ingredients, they're great, aren't they?
Yeah. And if you think about it as well, there's less and less butchers open. A lot of them are shutting. More and more people are pretty much most people are getting the majority of their food shops from supermarkets.
Yeah.
So like you said, how else are they going to come across a proper artisanal Scotch egg unless they actively seek it out?
Yeah, you've got to go find the hidden egg in life,
Find the hidden egg.
The cheap imitation, it's there. It's easy. But if you want the golden egg, as how Milo calls it, you got to go out there and you got to seek it.
Got to go find it. In food tech at school, it was like the second thing I ever made.
Oh yeah.
First thing I made in food tech in year 7 was coleslaw, and then I made Scotch egg like a couple of weeks later.
I remember you looking cute in your little apron and hat.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, like I remember the reason I remember is because Miss McDermott, she cut out. She had sausage.
Miss McDermott.
Why did we never do that before at school?
Miss McDermott. Miss McDermott.
She blew my mind because the sausage meat, she just cut open a sausage, opened up the meat from inside, and I remember at the time,
Looked you in the eye as she squeezed it out. You gonna behave, Miles? Proper slice the tip off it. You're gonna behave, aren't you, Miles?
no, I had my mind blown when I realised that the sausage meat she was using for it came from a sausage.
Wow.
I just thought sausage meat came from somewhere else. Blew my mind.
The clues in the name.
I know. It was just a passing thing I wanted to say.
Yeah, no. Fair enough. So the war changed the way people ate, forcing them to adapt and innovate, even if the results weren't always as tasty. The Scotch egg, like so many other British dishes, endured throughout this period of hardship, emerging on the other side as a symbol of resilience. Now, while the war years might have been the low point of its history, they also set the stage for the Scotch egg's eventual revival and reinvention, which is what we're going to come to next. So fast forward to the 1990s and the early 2000s, we have a new wave of food culture, which is sweeping through Britain. This culture is the gastropub movement. This trend was all about taking traditional British dishes and giving them a much needed gourmet twist using higher quality ingredients and inventive techniques. Scotch egg, long seen as a rather uninspiring snack by this point, was ripe for reinvention.
Oh yeah.
You've got chefs across the country that began experimenting with the Scotch egg, using free-range eggs, premium sausage meat, artisanal breadcrumbs, swapped out the pork for lamb, venison, haggis. Others added black pudding, chorizo, herbs to the mix, creating flavour combinations that really elevated
Milo's
Scotch egg.
over his edge at this point. You're lined
Keep
off
going, Andy.
too many of his favourites.
Keep going, Andy. What else? Any more?
These gourmet versions were often served warm with perfectly runny yolks and became hits in pubs and restaurants up and down the country. Milo and I are now going to walk you through 5 creative Scotch egg recipes from restaurants around the world, in fact, which showcase the modern kind of culinary twists on this classic British snack. I'll go first. The duck Scotch egg with truffle mayo. This is in the Harwood Arms in London, which is a Michelin star pub, and it offers a gourmet twist on the traditional Scotch egg by using a duck egg instead of a chicken egg. The egg is then wrapped in venison sausage meat, giving it a rich, kind of gamey flavour, and it is served with a luxurious truffle mayonnaise.
Got breadcrumbs. Got a crisp.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, breadcrumbs. Yeah.
No oily ducky eggs.
Next one, Miles.
A chorizo Scotch egg with romesco sauce.
That's from the Spotted Pig in New York, USA.
Let's go.
Wow. So it says, at the Spotted Pig, a popular gastropub in New York City, the Scotch egg gets a Spanish twist. The egg is encased in a spicy chorizo sausage meat and served with a smoky romesco sauce, which adds a bold, vibrant flavour profile to the dish.
Wow.
That's good, doesn't it?
Yeah, it
does sound good. I'd eat it.
So next one. Black pudding Scotch egg with apple chutney from Hawksmoor in Edinburgh, which is known for its top-notch British cuisine. And they offer a Scotch egg made with black pudding, which is a type of blood sausage, for those that don't know. The richness of this black pudding is perfectly balanced by the tangy kind of apple chutney, and the sweet and savoury kind of contrast really enhances the dish, according to their menu.
I think I've had not one from the Hawksmoor, but I've had a black pudding Scotch egg, and it's a good combo.
Yeah.
Okay.
they have it from the butchers around the corner, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that they do, I think that they do.
York knows how to do a Scotch egg. Just saying. Yeah.
They do. This next one, Miles, I feel like you will love.
Thai spiced Scotch egg, mate, with green papaya salad.
That's from Long Grain, Sydney, Australia.
At Long Grain in Sydney, the Scotch egg is given a Southeast Asian makeover. The egg is wrapped in Thai spiced pork mince, mate, infused with flavours like lemongrass and ginger and chili. It's served alongside refreshing green papaya salad, mate, which adds a crunchy, zesty element to the dish.
These are all like Michelin star fine dining restaurants, and then you've just got this
Bloody hell, mate. Come in here.
Intermittent, mate. Whenever you needed to steer the accent back to where it needed to be. Mate.
That does sound very good, though. You're right. I like the sound of that. Thai spiced Scotch egg with green papaya salad.
Sounds good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I'll give it a run out.
I do like Thai flavours. Sounds great.
Very nice dish. Very
Lemongrass,
nice dish.
ginger, and chili. Lovely.
Oh, yeah.
Green papaya. Last but not least, just for the veggies out there, a vegetarian Scotch egg with lentil and quinoa crust. Maybe not that as good as the other ones, but still good nevertheless. So this is from The Gate in London, like the restaurant, not just our gate. Vegetarian.
Upon a gate.
Eat me.
I'm
It's
bacon.
labelled that. It's just an egg on the spike at the top of the gate.
Yeah.
Eat me.
Eat meat. So they offer a meat-free version of the Scotch egg. The egg itself is wrapped in a mix of lentils, quinoa and herbs, coated in breadcrumbs, fried until crispy, and it's served with a tangy kind of beetroot relish, which I think it sounds nice. Sounds like it'd be a good dish. I mean, you're missing your meat, but
It's almost like a falafel with an egg in it.
yeah, I mean, falafels are chickpeas.
You got pulses, grains and that.
Yeah, no, you are right. It is a falafel-like in its form.
Yeah.
It's probably the least decent one out of all this list, but I just wanted to show like the range and the experimentation that people are embarking on.
Yeah.
The Scotch egg.
People are committed.
They are none more so than this next movement. So one of the more exciting developments in the Scotch Egg's modern revival is the annual Scotch Egg Challenge, hosted by the Guinea Grill in Mayfair, London. This competition has become a celebration of culinary creativity, bringing together the top chefs from across the UK and beyond to showcase their most inventive takes on the classic Scotch egg.
I thought it was going to be a Scotch egg eating contest. I was going to
I
say
thought
we
that as
enter
well when I came
Milo.
across it.
Send him down there. How many do you reckon you could have in it if like it was for competition eating, Milo?
Whoa. How big? Are we talking like snack size?
Fist size.
Oh, like big boys.
Yeah.
Okay.
How long have I got?
long as you need.
As long as you need.
If I was given an hour, let's say I was given an hour,
Yeah.
I could probably eat about 10.
That's great. That's 6 minutes on average.
Yeah, easy.
Wow.
I do that on the walk home from Tesco.
I back you to do more than that, I feel.
I
Yeah.
think that you're cheating yourself, to be honest.
You get 2 dips. That helps.
Okay. Yeah.
One of them can be a beef shin ragu.
I was gonna say
I was going to say a nice bowl of it.
I was gonna say mustard, but that's gonna be well hard to beat loads of mustard.
Yeah.
Proper hot.
Yeah. Like English mustard.
Yeah, try and get it all in.
Proper looking to give yourself heartburn.
Yeah.
Maybe I do like a bit of piccalilli or something.
Okay, something to cut through it. It's a bit wet.
Bit of like lubrification because you got that dry sandpaper texture on the outside, so you need something to kind of, yeah.
I'd have gone
This is-
mayo, personally.
Yeah, mayonnaise. This is where the
Same.
undeep fried version would come in because that shit would just glide down.
Yeah.
Oily egg.
Not even chewing him.
Look at him go.
Like Popeye, but without spinach.
Scotch eggs. But this is actually a Scotch egg making contest. Are we talking here?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So it first launched in 2010 and it quickly became a highly anticipated event in the British food calendar. The idea
Understandably
was,
so.
of course, the idea was simple yet brilliant. Gather some of the best chefs and pit them against each other in competition to create the ultimate Scotch egg.
Is this open to the public and can I go? When is it? How much are the tickets?
There you go.
I'm not sure. I do know that the last year or whenever it was last hosted, maybe it would have been last year, 2023, the judges tested 17 Scotch eggs in total over the course of the challenge.
And that's not enough. So is it more? Well, like if I'm going, There needs to be more.
To be sharing that. I'm making a trip.
We just established I could probably eat those in an hour.
So each year, chefs from a variety of restaurants and backgrounds enter the Scotch Egg Challenge, each bringing their own unique twists on the dish. The rules are super straightforward. Create a Scotch egg that stands out in taste, texture, and creativity. And while the basics, an egg wrapped in a coating, usually of meat, remain consistent, the interpretations are as varied as the chefs themselves. Entries have ranged from traditional port recipes to far more inventive creations, kind of incorporating various exotic stuff. We're going to get into some of these notable entries and winners of this competition. But just before, I'll just give you a bit of a rundown on how it's judged and how they record the winner. So it's judged by a panel of food critics, chefs, and food enthusiasts.
Miles is a couple of them.
Yeah, you might find yourself at the table. I can just imagine it like sitting on the table, just like...
I need 2 to judge.
Yeah.
One will not suffice.
One can only value the flavour upon the second sitting.
You're like the Simon Cowell of the Scotch Egg Challenge. All the other judges get 1, you get 2. Oh, I need to make Miles. I need to give Miles 2. He needs to. Come on.
Yeah.
So nervous.
Shit, get out.
What'd you make this with? Powdered egg. So these judges evaluate each entry based on several criteria. The quality of the egg, especially the yolk. The flavour, the seasoning of the meat or alternative coating, whatever you're using. The crispiness of the breadcrumb exterior and the overall creativity of the dish. So there's a decent number of things going on. Yeah. The competition is fierce and the judges take their role, as you can imagine, very seriously, debating the merits of each entry at length. Winning the Scotch Egg Challenge is no small feat. It's a mark of excellence and innovation in British cuisine, and the winners gain considerable prestige along with bragging rights. So let's get into some memorable winners, shall we? 2011, the winner was Adam Handling. At the time, he was at the Fairmont in St Andrews. He concocted a Scotch egg with a perfectly cooked duck egg wrapped in venison sausage, served with a black pudding crumb and homemade brown sauce.
Ooh, that sounds
good.
Really good.
Class. I'm in.
Sounds good, doesn't it? 2015, a bloke called Ben Tish, who was at the Salt Yard Group. He entered a Iberico pork and morcilla Scotch egg featuring Spanish Iberico pork and morcilla, which is Spanish blood sausage, with a perfectly soft-boiled egg served with a piquillo pepper sauce.
Wow.
Oh, God, that sounds nice.
Does sound good. Bit spicy.
Sounds good. 2016, Nathan Richardson, who was chef at the Draper Arms at that time, a duck Scotch egg wrapped in a spiced confit duck leg meat, duck egg yolk centre, served with a plum and slow gin chutney.
Oh, that's kind of what I was saying before with the duck. That's got the duck leg, confit duck leg, duck egg in there, hoisin and what did you say? Hoisin and something?
No, I didn't say hoisin at all. I said plum and slow gin.
Yeah.
Projecting
you just want hoisin in there.
Yeah.
Hoisin's a plum sauce, isn't it?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'll give you that.
Oh, man. That sounds good, though. That sounds really good.
Yeah, sounds good, doesn't it? Sounds good. And the last one on our list was the 2019 winner, which was Callum Franklin of Holborn Dining Room. He entered a beef Wellington-inspired Scotch egg with a rare beef and mushroom duxelle wrap around a quail egg, encased in puff pastry and served with a rich Madeira dew. How good does that sound?
God.
That's crazy.
Wow. Shit hot, doesn't it?
That does sound good. You know what I got?
Imagine eating 17 of fucking Scotch eggs like this all in a row. One day out.
It's a good day. But you know what I got from that list? Is that Scotch eggs are a man's food. Not a single women chef was on that list.
Right, you're right.
It was all just proper. Yeah, I like to make Scotch eggs. I like to make the perfect ones.
They were all bearded blokes, weren't they?
Sounds good, doesn't it?
It's a good day. It is a good day. If that's your day of work, judging that, you're all right.
So I'm going to submit mine. It's a buffalo chicken mince around a small quail egg with a buffalo spicy sauce inside with blue cheese crumbling around the outside and celery stick on the side.
For health and balance.
For health and balance.
Wow.
Yeah, buffalo chicken. There you go. So yeah, you got buffalo sauce in that's in the gap between the egg and the sausage meat inside.
Think about what a messy grab that'd be. as you're grabbing the chicken, it's just splatting everywhere. So, got issues with this one already, mate.
No. It's good. And then you got chicken mince that's had like the crispy skin kind of mixed through it. So you kind of got that crispy chicken wing flavour.
Right.
And then you've got the breadcrumbs, which are kind of mixed with a bit of blue cheese as well. So you get a little bit of blue cheese.
All right.
Okay, so I wasn't thinking any breadcrumbs. I just thought you meant a shitload of blue cheese all around the outside.
Yeah, that's what it sounded like when you said
Tall.
blue cheese crumbling.
All served within a block of blue cheese.
It won't be overpowering.
Yeah, and then it's served with a celery and a glass of port.
Oh, wow. That's a port. Yeah, that's really incredible.
Wow,
It's impressive.
I can't wait to eat it. Let's make it the next episode. I love it.
Let's make it and let's live stream it.
Yeah.
The listeners will love that, I'm sure.
We're getting live on Twitch Friday night, 10 o'clock. Milo's
Making
making big
Scotch eggs at
Scotch eggs.
Malzo's.
Come tune in.
Scotch eggs and Milo's.
Scotch egg stream. Oh dear.
Yeah.
Something like that. But no, that sounds like a lovely day out.
Doesn't it?
We should
We'll try and cultivate a live episode of the pod from the Scotch Egg Challenge. That'll be the dream.
Now we're talking.
All right, let's wrap this up in some sausage meat and end it, shall we? So today, the Scotch egg enjoys a unique position in British food culture. On the one hand, it remains a ubiquitous snack, easily found in supermarkets, petrol stations, and convenience stores across the country. On the other, it has also become a symbol of culinary innovation embraced by chefs and foodies alike. Whether it's a gourmet version, served with a fancy dip in a high-end pub, or a humble, ready-to-eat snack picked up on the go, Scotch egg has proven its staying power. It's a dish that has managed to evolve and adapt over centuries, surviving wars, economic downturns, and the changing food trends. And while it's not everyone's cup of tea, thanks to that 2019 survey that it was placed among Britain's least liked foods, it's undoubtedly a beloved part of this wonderful nation's culinary heritage.
100%.
I love the fact that we can kind of trace British history through just the Scotch egg.
The Scotch egg, yeah.
We had such a good kind of cross-section of British history there, all through the perspective of the Scotch egg.
Good coating, if you will.
Yeah, love that.
A yellow-brown coating.
A yellow-brown. There you go, the Scotch egg, a quintessentially British food item. Done, dusted, in the bag.
It's not Scottish.
It's not.
Perfect.
No. It's very misleading.
Very, very much so.
Yeah. Fortnum and Mason. We need to, if we're in London, we need to go and have a look around Fortnum and Mason. It's an interesting shop.
I think the fact that they've got a page on the website means that they're still celebrating like the claim to fame and claim to the invention of it. So surely they must have a Scotch egg offering.
Yeah. No,
They must.
Yeah.
I'd have just been homing in on the biscuits.
If you can buy them online, I'll buy some online as long as they're not like fucking 75 quid.
No,
They will.
You've said it now. You've said it.
It's the kind of shop you go in and they're like,
Mm-hmm.
they're wearing top hats and waistcoats and like, hello, sir, can I help you find what you want?
Like Harrods type thing.
Yeah, it's like that. Cool though.
Hang on.
Hate customer service.
You found some?
On the website.
Here we are.
Traditional Scotch eggs, box of 4. Go on, how much do you think?
£32.50.
15 quid.
They look somewhat small as well, actually. They don't look that great. $18.95
For 4 small ones.
for 4 small ones. Yeah.
Well, there you have it.
250 calories each.
Wow.
Pork.
10 of them a
50%
day.
pork.
Pork. 52% pork.
Wow.
They've got a shitload. They've got streaky bacon, truffle, caramelized onion, chickpea and feta, and in pork pies.
Christ. Well, there you go. It's our first ever What the Food prologue. We wrapped the show up and then just added in a little bit of extra content. There you have that. Enjoy that one.
For the special listeners.
Well, there you go, guys. Scotch egg. I hope you guys enjoyed that as much as we did. Yeah. I hope you guys are enjoying the podcast. Thank you for sticking with us to the end. Please consider following us on the socials and also rating the podcast. That's super helpful. If you can rate us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or wherever else you listen to the podcast, that really helps. And share with a friend. I think word of mouth is the best thing you can do. If you enjoy the show,
Best one.
consider telling some loved ones about it. Yeah, without further ado, we'll love you and leave you. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you guys in 2 weeks' time for the next episode.
Bye.
Bye.